Hi, my name is Rhianna Bennett,
And I'm Anna Coon.
and we are members of the Multiplay Network and the Archaeogaming Collective. As professional archaeologists and casual gamers, our passion for archaeology often means recognizing archaeological tropes and influences in the media that we engage with. In celebration of N7 Day, we seek to turn our archaeological lens to the Mass Effect universe.
Although the events within the Mass Effect trilogy take place over 200 years in the future, past events and landscapes affect and shape the entirety of the series. While the setting is futuristic in nature and set up in ways as a xenoanthropological spacefaring adventure, players are actually conducting xenoarchaeology in order to defeat the Reapers and save the inhabitants of the Milky Way galaxy.
Brief 15-minute presentation, we seek to overview the explicit use of archaeology throughout the Mass Effect trilogy and shaping the story of Commander Shepard versus the Reaper threat. We argue that archaeology is the entire backbone of the Mass Effect series and that Commander Shepard could not have had a chance to stop the Reapers had it not been for archaeological expertise and experimental archaeological methodology. In order to showcase archaeology's integral place within the saga, this presentation will define archaeology, xenoarchaeology, experimental archaeology, as well as something relatively new called archaeogaming. We then will discuss the most explicit examples of archaeology within the Mass Effect series, and explore Project Crucible as an example of experimental archaeology that ultimately saved or doomed the universe depending on how you played it. We will finish the presentation with a question and answer portion.
So, what is archaeology? Archaeology is most simply defined as the study of human past. In order to learn about the history, culture, and lived experiences of past civilizations, archaeologists often excavate landscapes and analyze artifacts to interpret how people lived in the past. As defined by the Society for American Archaeology, archaeology analyzes the physical remains of the past in pursuit of a broad and comprehensive understanding of human culture. Within the Mass Effect universe, characters and players are often conducting xenoarchaeology, the study of another species' past. This term is currently a hypothetical subset of archaeology that is, of course, brought forth within the series. For much of the saga, players explore and learn about Prothean history and culture. However, many alien cultures are also observed and explored within the series. There are several species created for the Mass Effect universe that have expansive cultural lore that can be observed and learned about while playing the games. Experimental archaeology is the hypothesis, testing, and recreation of past tools, techniques, and/or technologies to learn more about traditions and artifacts of the past. Some real-world examples include the recreation of monoliths at Stonehenge, which were manually brought from one place to another. Blacksmithing, metalworking, and flint-knapping are other examples of this. Any attempt to recreate methodologies and techniques of the past is an example of experimental archaeology. This presentation is an example of a newer subset of archaeology called archaeogaming. This is the study of archaeology in and of gaming. The term was first adopted by Andrew Reinhardt in 2013 and has grown into a much more recent research trend that is growing in popularity. Now that we've defined all the archaeolingo, let's jump into how archaeology is presented in the Mass Effect games.
This slide depicts the first text that a player reads when playing the introduction of Mass Effect 1. In quotes, in the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. And as you read further, it also says, these artifacts revealed startling new technologies, enabling travel to the furthest stars. So within the first minute of the game, archaeological excavations on Mars set the course for human interstellar travel. In fact, within the first hour of gameplay, archaeology is explicitly present. How did humans achieve faster-than-light travel? By excavating Prothean ruins on Mars. How did Shepard first learn about the existence of the Reapers? Through a Prothean artifact on Eden Prime. Not only is archaeology the precursor for space travel within the series, but archaeological sites and artifacts are integral for world building and story progression within the series. So much so that how does Commander Shepard and the Milky Way galaxy species ultimately defeat the Reapers? by recreating an ancient Prothean blueprint.
We would be remiss to not introduce the most explicit example of archaeology's integral place within the series, and that would be the faithful alien companion that you meet within the first game, Dr. Liara Tassoni. Liara is an Asari archaeologist that specializes in Prothean culture. She becomes a member of the crew specifically to assist the research component that occurs on board the Normandy to discover what happened to the ancient alien race. Within the first game, Liara is a key component to understanding the past and assisting in translating and interpreting artifacts and information within many dig sites that the team investigates. Her role as an archaeologist diminishes in the second and third game, but her understanding and contributions to archaeological understanding of the Protheans must be acknowledged.
This slide showcases some of the sites and missions associated in each game that revolve around archaeological processes. On the left side of the screen are archaeological marvels from Mass Effect 1. The center are sites and artifacts from Mass Effect 2, and on the right are all from Mass Effect 3. Archaeological exploration within the games revolve around understanding the ancient alien race of the Protheans. Many missions revolve around dig sites or retrieving Prothean artifacts, or even Prothean characters such as Javik in Mass Effect 3, that help the players understand the history of the galaxy and how they can defeat the Reapers. Xenoarchaeological artifacts that are used most often throughout the games are the Mass Effect relays themselves, as they allow species to travel across the Milky Way galaxy. Mass relays were thought to have been technological innovations by the Protheans, but it is revealed in Mass Effect 1 that they were created by the Reapers, and discovered and utilized by the later species prior to their extinction. The next example of archaeology pushing the story of Commander Shepard is the beacon that was located on Eden Prime. In the player's very first mission, the Normandy travels to the human colony of Eden Prime to meet a science team that is excavating a Prothean artifact. This artifact being the beacon that Shepard accidentally is ensnared by, and he or she receives visions of the past Reaper invasion of the Protheans. In Mass Effect 3, Commander Shepard travels to almost all of the primary species' homeworlds and learns about their history and culture. In 2 specific missions, archaeological knowledge plays a crucial role within the story, such as priorities to Chanka and Thessia.
All of the previous examples include archaeological knowledge and looting to put players on the correct course of the saga, but have they helped save the universe? Project Crucible is a set of schematics that were uncovered at the Prothean archaeological site on Mars. This schematic details a superweapon that the Protheans aimed to build in order to defeat the Reapers, but unfortunately never came to light. It is decided that following these 50,000-year-old instructions in constructing the Crucible may be humanity and the galaxy's last chance at survival. As such, the Crucible is an example of experimental archaeology, and depending on how you played the game is the exact reason that the galaxy may be saved. Without the analysis of Prothean culture and history, as well as the excavation and interpretation of archaeological sites, Commander Shepard and their crew might not have been able to successfully fight the Reapers, and thus this concludes our argument that archaeology saved the universe. So, in conclusion, we would like to thank and acknowledge members of the Multiplay Network for putting on this very special conference in honor of our shared favorite video game franchise, which celebrates its 10th anniversary since publishing Mass Effect 3. We would also like to thank the Archaeo Gaming Collective for its online supportive community, which is actually how we met, and for the inspiration behind our public outreach efforts involving the games we love. And last but not least, we would also like to thank the creators of Mass Effect and BioWare for simply creating the best game of all time.
Again, my name is Rhianna Bennett, and you can find me on most social media such as Twitter and Instagram at Rhianna and Bennett.
And my name is Anna Coon. You can find me at Short Round with an E at the end across pretty much all social media. So happy N7 Day!
7 Day.